On this episode of Open Homes, we see behind this striking facade, this future-proof home. We get a special tour of this house. And to finish, wait until you see inside this beauty.
We really tried to make a big effort to really incorporate that coastal luxe theme into this particular project.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, we're in Adelaide.
We're here in Norwood, one of the oldest and most established suburbs of Adelaide. It's known for these beautiful, unique, historic homes, yet today we're going to have a look at a brand new build. I can't wait to check this one out. Alan, it's great to meet you, mate. I was super excited to come and see the house today. I'd seen some images and it's just so beautifully simplistic, the architecture. Tell us about this amazing facade.
It really is set in the environment, the context of the street, and then the historic overlay of this beautiful town of Norwood, which has got a lot of historic buildings in it. It's really close to the parade, this building. So we're trying to create here a home that fits in the environment. There's churches around that that's where the form comes from for it. We use the bluestone, which is prevalent around here. And then we've just tried to make the two-storey, a bit of a recessive form, darkening it off with that black, that matte colour bond.
Talk about the stone on the facade now. It's definitely a standout feature. I'm a Sydney boy, we've got sandstone everywhere. I'm guessing that that's a local stone down here for Adelaide?
Yeah, it's a Keemantu bluestone, so it's really hard and dense. It is beautiful to work with because it can shape it and it will hold its form. It's a traditional stone for Norwood. There's a lot of villas, the churches are built in it. So contextually, again, it just fits in with the environment.
And you've done that beautiful linear sort of pattern that you've got nice different changing of heights. It's almost like a designer ski lodge sort of composition. I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm in some high-end resort in the mountains. It's got a beautiful mixture of finishes and texture and quite a moody feel on the outside. I can't wait to get inside and have a look.
Yeah, come on through.
I love that subtle detail as we enter through the front door that you've continued that beautiful stonework into the entry for you. It's nicely defined, that space, saying that's entry and from here on in is hallway.
Yeah, it's really subtle. I'm glad you picked up on it. We pumped that ceiling up to 3.6 and brought that wall, giving that room some weight. Otherwise, it's got that clean terrazzo feel and just a lot of plasterboard.
Coming down the hallway, we hit something that's actually quite understated, but I don't know if it's a piece of like steel origami. That staircase is beautiful, but how did you build that? Like I can see the weight of that and the design. It's so thin, but it's all steel.
The design of it came from a lot of trust from the clients. I mean, to tell them you're going to fold a piece of steel and drop it on site, 3 months before anything else gets there is, quite daunting for them, but they allowed us to do it, and we think it's a great result.
All of that wall of cabinetry, and you've done it in a beautiful timber tone. Like, this is a lot of work here.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. The edges are solid timber, and we really worked hard on getting that veneer right. It doesn't all come through the same when you get natural veneers.
Yeah, that variation is part of the beauty, though. The combination of design and finishes, I think it is outstanding. The homeowners must love it.
They absolutely love it. It just won the HIA award for its category in kitchens. Artisan did a fantastic job putting it together.
They must love having people over and just spending time by themselves here. And talking about entertaining, there's a little subtle addition in this kitchen. Just somewhere to throw a few wine bottles.
Yeah, there's a couple of 100 bottles of wine back there, an insulated capsule.
Was that something that you, as the firm, wanted to put in, or was it a really driving force from the homeowners? I mean, it's something that's becoming more included in higher-end homes, but it's definitely a standout feature here. Well, I knew we wouldn't be disappointed, mate, on this side of the room. It's like the cover of a magazine, the layout, the scale, the placement. The kitchen just looks so fantastic.
Oh, there's so many little shots in this house like that. You're like, wow, that came out well.
Next up, we're in Thornley, about 20 kilometres northwest of the Sydney CBD.
So Garrett, I actually grew up not far from here, also in the hills area. I'm really familiar with this beautiful rolling hills and lots of greenery, but that is a reasonably busy road. The minute I walk in the house, silence.
The DA came back that we needed to meet certain sound restrictions. And then by the time we added logic house windows, triple glazed, it sort of made sense to look towards going to a passive house, which we'd never done before. It was very new in Australia at the time. Once we started looking into it further, we're like, there's not much difference to how we build normal homes. A bit of extra insulation, a bit of extra sarking. There's no difference. We can control everything. There's no extra trades coming in. So it just made sense.
So the passive house principles are actually pretty straightforward, and most people are pretty well acquainted with this idea of well-insulated houses. Passive house takes it a bit farther, especially in terms of airtightness. So the house is effectively airtight. We don't have any drafts in the house. But what that does mean is there has to be a system for dealing with the CO2 and the humidity that people create. So there's a mechanical ventilation system that constantly is putting fresh air into the house and taking stale air out of the house. But while it does that, rather than just taking temperature in at whatever temperature is outside and taking the air in the house that's comfortable and just throwing it out, there's actually a heat exchanger. So if it's cold out, it retains the heat in the house and the house stays warm. And if it's hot out, it actually retains the cool inside.
There's a few things that I noticed straight away walking inside, something a little bit different. On the left-hand side, you've got that bank of glass, I'm presuming picking up the northern light. But on my right, it's like a designer sci-fi movie, Doctor Who set, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Tell us about what those tubes are.
So the tubes are a fiberglass tube. They're filled with water. They're there for a thermal mass benefit.
That water is therefore picking up the light coming through the window, right?
Yes.
This is an unusual thing for me to see. I've not seen this before. Is this something you've done before, or is this the drive from the client?
No, we've never done this before. This is purely the client's research and idea.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a great talking point.
The full height translucent tanks, I just thought that would be really cool. And it's worked out really well because not only do they do the thermal mass really well, but you take what would be harsh light out of that northern window and it hits those tanks, and it really gives you a beautiful diffuse lighting throughout the room. It's really nice.
I think both Matthew and I wanted the house color to be one that sort of fit in with the natural environment, and we spent a lot of time painting the shed out the back different shades until we found just the color that we want, which is almost like a gum tree, gray, green, depending on the light as you go.
I've got to say, Garrett, I love it when I come perfectly dressed for the right site without even knowing it. I'm in green today. All I can see everywhere I look is green. Like, this is a beautiful leafy backdrop, an amazing location.
Great size block, 900 square metres. The way the house was designed, we got to keep all the old growth, which just makes landscaping so much easier.
It's an outstanding house that you guys have created together with the clients and the architect. Congratulations. I definitely feel very calm and beautifully relaxed in this environment.
Up next, we get a special tour of this house. And at the end of the show, a coastal dream home. Next up, we're in Tusmore, an inner east suburb of Adelaide.
We're here in Adelaide. It's known as the city of churches, but for me, it's always about the architecture. We're about to meet the homeowner, the lady behind this amazing creation. I don't know whether to say hello or bonjour, because I can definitely see some French influence. There's an amazing roofline and fleur-de-lis on the front gate. So join me now as we take a look at this amazing home. Delilah, I obviously fell asleep on my plane. I knew I was flying from Sydney to Adelaide, and yet somehow I've ended up in the middle of Paris. This looks like an outstanding home, but is it a renovation of a historic home or is it a new build?
No, it's actually a new build, and there was a house before, and I actually knocked it down and started from scratch.
You obviously have a love of classic architecture, and I can see those Parisian lines the minute I turned up. And if we start from that amazing roof line, that mansard roof, it's a really steep pitch, but it sits so well in scale to the size of the home.
It does. It gives it a bit of a special touch to it, especially the colour. It just brings out the white tiles that I've used at the front.
It's a really grand feeling. There's lots of detailing. You've got lots of moulding. You've got some beautiful arched windows and little keystones. There's so much going on. Some people could get this wrong. It could be overly busy, and yet I think your colour choice has made it blend in so beautifully.
Well, that's right. I used a lot of lighter colours on the facade just to give it a bit of a special touch, but simple lines. I kept it really simple.
Well, you've done an amazing job out here. The house, all of the planting looks fantastic. I can't wait to see what the rest of the house has to offer. Let's go.
Let's go.
So Delilah, you spoilt me on the outside. It's like an amazing entree, and I've just arrived now inside in the main meal. It is a stunning looking home. I can see the play of classic architecture. Talk us through this floor plan.
Well, I wanted to keep it simple again, but we've got this beautiful entry with a beautiful chandelier, coffered ceiling. I designed so the entry coming into the office over there and to my library.
So you've got the formal rooms at the front of the home, so staying true to that classic style of architecture.
Yes.
You talked about it being quite plain. I don't think that that's a word you can use for this house. It might be plain for your style. It's beautifully detailed, but I think you've kept it understated because it's all white on white. It's all about the texture and the detail.
That's right. A lot of people thought that I couldn't do white on white, but I proved them wrong.
You're known for a bit of colour. You like a bit of colour.
I like a little bit of colour, but yeah, I wanted to keep everything quite white, and that way I could have a bit of art showing through and use colour with natural plants and things like that.
So you've got a large bedroom and a beautiful, impressive ensuite, but that walk-in robe, it's like a high-end French boutique in there.
It is, James. It's my favourite room in the whole house.
I can see that there's somewhere to go shopping and then to relive the experience by shopping again in your own room. It's a beautiful design. Did you get inspired by anywhere that you'd been, or was that something that was in your head?
No, it was actually something that was in my head. I wanted space where I could show a few of the pieces that I've collected over the years and make it a little bit boutique-like.
Walking into that powder room, the white on white has gone. It's an explosion of floral and butterflies. Like, that is an amazing powder room.
Yeah, well, it took me a long time to find that wallpaper. I looked through thousands and thousands, and I set upon that, my eyes upon that one, and I just love it and thought, that's going to work with the white.
This is an outstanding space, and again, it's all about scale. The high ceiling, the wide walls. This is a huge room.
Yes, James, it is. I actually love this area. It's my favourite part, besides the powder room in the house. I wanted to keep it quite open, and I designed a lot of windows around here so that during the day I don't need to keep lights on.
The natural light is beautiful, and that connection from the greenery outside as well. You've got beautifully manicured gardens that I can see all the way through the back, and also in the courtyard. The house is almost like a sort of a big capital I, isn't it? You've got these two courtyards on either side and the hallway down the middle. It must be working so well to let lots of natural light in.
It does, and that's why I designed a couple of the courtyards on the sides. It just brings in extra light and makes it quite airy.
I definitely feel like I've had a little Parisian escape, and I think that you've created that so beautifully. So congratulations. Thank you so much for having us come and see your beautiful home. I definitely need to put my name down for the next dinner party.
Thanks, James. You're welcome anytime.
Up next, we can finally reveal this incredible home. Now we can finally reveal this house in Queensland.
Today we're here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast to visit a coastal luxe build that is executed to a T with wow factor from front to back. Well, Dom, mate, talk about wow factor. Walking up here today, this house stands out. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. We really tried to make a big effort to really incorporate that coastal luxe theme into this particular project.
And coastal luxe it absolutely is. I mean, you've got the stack of stone, you know, the crazy pave, the white, the pandanus, that circular window. I mean, it stands out. It's got, like, if this is your house, then, you know, you say, oh, the house with the circle window, that's it.
We've got a lot of feedback, and the circle window, the curved screen with the timber look aluminium battens, it's really set it off.
Well, mate, you guys have hit the nail on the head with the coastal luxe theme from the facade. I can't wait to see what it looks like inside, so let's head in.
Let's go, mate.
Well, mate, if you can't tell by the smile on my face, this is exactly what I expected and more. It's absolutely stunning in here. I mean, that white coastal luxe feel from the front has carried through this whole level so far.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, we've made a really big effort to carry that theme through. You know, you've got the Caesar stone here with all those light timber finishes on the kitchen, and then the gold theme that's continued through on the door hardware and on the light fittings.
I mean, we always talk about ceiling heights and highlight windows and bringing that airy breezeway space into a home. This has done it perfectly, but I'm so intrigued about that bridge there, that you could have just had this one big open space, but with your design, that side of the house, we've got a bridge that crosses through this area with the glass balustrade. I mean, it just adds such an intriguing aspect to the house.
Yeah, it was one of the design features that I wanted to put into the home was the bridge. I think it creates a really good conversation piece. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, the people who are going to be sleeping in the master upstairs are the ones paying for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, why not actually have that luxurious feel walking into your master?
So we've made our way upstairs, Dom, and we're standing on the bridge that joins the main house to the master ensuite, which I have to say is a super impressive master suite. I mean, that bathroom has so many features that I can imagine would have taken a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, it was really difficult actually to build that bathroom, you know, with all the Italian travertine, the big archway, bending all those brushed brass angles, getting that tile inlay around that big round window. But at the end of the day, it's turned out better than I expected.
I mean, building that shower room it just gives that luxe feel, doesn't it? Like, it makes that space feel so special.
Yeah, it is. It's probably the most luxurious space, I believe, in the house. And it's really got that European-inspired theme in there.
I absolutely love the continuity from the front to the back. The crazy pave from ensuite, front fence, all the way out into this pool area is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we continued that crazy pave theme from the guest ensuite through to the master ensuite and then into the pool. So it's actually the first time that we put crazy pave all the way into the pool, and quite frankly, it looks stunning.
Tell us a little bit about the projects you guys are working on at the moment.
Yeah, so QLD Built, we're a local family-owned Sunshine Coast builder. We only build in the Sunshine Coast area. We employ a design team, so we take on the design and the construction portion of the build if the client's looking for that. Alternatively, they can engage an architect, but we certainly like to offer a bit of a one-stop shop, service to our clients. What we're really trying to do is we're just trying to up the level of architecture on the Sunshine Coast and really build someone a beautiful dream quality home.
And I mean, you've done this house justice to a T. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful and it is for sale.
It is, Jimmy. So if you want to go to the bank, mate, I got the biz, you get the cash, you can have this beautiful home.
Fair deal. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes. On this episode of Open Homes, we take a tour with Dave. We unpack this interesting design. We see behind this striking facade. And Dave's own home is finally ready to reveal.
I'm so excited for this property reveal. It's been a long time in the making.
Well, I've got to say, you know what? Good things take time, and this house has taken time.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, we kick off the tour of Dave's own home in Black Rock.
This is one reveal that has been 4 years in the making. It is award-winning landscape architect Dave Franklin's own home. The gardens are as you would expect. They're absolutely immaculate with so much layer and detail. However, what I'm really excited about is his wife Jane's interiors. She has done an incredible job. She's made some bold choices and I think it's going to absolutely blow you away. Let's go and take a look. Dave, finally, mate.
I know.
How exciting, Jane. It's lovely to see you.
Great to see you too, sweetheart.
I'm so excited for this property reveal. It's been a long time in the making.
Well, I've got to say, you know what? Good things take time, and this house has taken time. Not just like, right, we're going to go and renovate this weekend. This is like something that's, normally takes about 1.5 years, and we're going to try and do it in 6 months.
First impressions of the house is it's a bomb site.
Been an old house, we've had a few engineering issues. Every time you start pulling something down, something else hits you again and pushes us back another bloody month. Anyone who's renovated one of these, they'll know the pain that we're going through.
Is it possible to go backwards? The next time you're down, it'll be finished, hopefully.
Well, believe it or not, okay, this facade here took me 8 times, okay? Fighting with Jane, and I've got to be honest, because the house sort of recesses back in there, but I was watching Narcos and Pablo Escobar had arches and he made $300 million, so I thought if it works for him, it's got to work here.
probably.
Well, I love it because the house is obviously a reflection of both your personalities.
Yep.
Yes.
You're big, you're bold,
Yes.
you're very confident, and you can see that you've taken some risk and it's all paid off.
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised that actually the Mayor of Bayside has not come around and cut the ribbon here, because everyone in this street is sick of all the tradesmen out the front and us
true.
pulling this down, putting it up again. And yes, it's taken a while, but you know what? We're done and we're off the street. So you know what? To the Mayor of Bayside, we're finished.
Well, enough of your work, Dave. Let's go and see what Jane's done inside, because that's what I'm most excited about.
Thanks, Jess. I'm excited too.
Let's get in.
The first impressions walking in are just, where do you look? There are so many features in this property. I absolutely love it.
Stay tuned, we'll check out the rest of this amazing home at the end of the show. Up next, we unpack this interesting design. Next up, we're in New South Wales.
Welcome to Homeworld Leppington here in the south of Sydney. And today I'd like to do something a little bit different and show you some of my own work. Behind me is one of 5 display homes that I've created for Eden Bray Homes. The process of creating a display home is actually more of a science. There's lots of thought going into every fitting and finish. Not only do these homes have to look amazing now, but they have to date incredibly well, because these villages are open for about 8 to 10 years' time. So join me now as I share some tips and tricks that I've used in creating these beautiful homes. They're going to help you a lot if you're looking to build or renovate yourself. Starting with this beautiful facade, you can see an obvious nod to the Hamptons. This is a very popular interior style in Australia, but for me, I wanted to give it a non-stereotypical take, a more suburban look. I love adding texture, and I achieved this first with the bottom layer of the house by using brick. It's hard wearing, easy to clean. This is a beautiful sandstock brick, and it's allowed me to add that nice rich ochre colour. On the first floor of the house, well, we've got the cladding there. This is such a coastal Hamptons feel. I've added some soft colour here with that beautiful washed grey, and then some white trim with the windows, the gutter, and all of that trim around the details. This adds that soft contrast and really brings this coastal-inspired home to life. When you enter a home, it's important to have that wow factor, something to catch you as you enter the room. And here it's that obvious, amazing staircase. For the colour of the treads, well, I've gone with a nice American oak. And by having the risers painted white, that part that you see, it makes the staircase appear lighter. The next important element is the flooring. You can equally see how impressive it is. It flows straight down the hallway, and I've used one unified flooring throughout the whole of the ground floor. I've included the element of texture that was on the outside of the home, this time with the American oak flooring in a nice brushed finish. It's light, it feels very natural because it is natural timber. And then the colour of the walls, well, I've actually just made it slightly darker than it is outside. You've got to remember, when you see colour, it will always be lighter outside and darker inside. But the tone of that colour is very similar to the external cladding colour. That allows me to have continuity. The important utility space is also located here. We've got a powder room and a laundry. When I'm creating a home, I like to give a sense of the unexpected. And I did it here with the amazing floor tiles. Indigo is so easy to live with. It goes with everything. Men love it, women love it. It's not orange, it's not red, it's not too polarizing, but it definitely elevates the space. And come in here. This is the laundry. Put your hand up if you love laundries. Usually nobody. But for me, I always create beautiful laundries. It elevates the value of your home. It also elevates this space as a room that's nice to spend time in. For the colouring and the styling, well, here's a reason why you should visit Display Homes. They provide inspiration for you and your own renovate or rebuild journey. My brief for the styling in this home was again to repeat the finishes. The inky blues, you might notice the colour of the rug and the cushions is almost the same blue as the tiles in the wet areas. And of course some nice white timber and fresh linen, those beautiful coastal tones and finishes that work so well for the Hampton style or any modern contemporary coastal home. One of the best features of many Australian homes is the large open plan dining, kitchen and living area. And this home doesn't disappoint. It's a beautiful space, lots of windows and natural light, especially because of this large splashback window. The kitchen here, well, it had to be important. I like to elevate the finishes, make it easy to maintain and look after, but also visually interesting. I've gone for a very dark kitchen. Now, some people get scared when it comes to creating a dark kitchen. They think it's going to make the whole home feel dark. But as you can see, nothing about this kitchen overwhelms the space. For the colour, well, it's a deep inky blue. And again, you might have already picked up that I've repeated that same deep inky blue in the tiles, which is also in the decor items. This creates a great feeling of continuity in the home. It makes it feel like, gee, this is familiar when I walk into this room. And the splashback tiles, well, I've added further texture here. These are a handmade tile, laid in that beautiful square pattern. They again add lots of visual interest, and being a handmade tile, there's so much textural interest and difference in the space. It plays beautifully on light and it really elevates this room.
Next up, we're in Queensland.
Well, Klaus, thanks for having me here today, mate. We're in Roachdale on the south side of Brisbane. We're on a rural property and we're going to see a pretty interesting design behind me.
We wanted to design a house that tied in with the existing house, but also was all about affordability. Marnie and Paul, who were the owners, they couldn't get into the market, and so this was the only reason they could actually get into the market by designing this essential granny flat, or small house as we say, and building on to their parents' property.
The Australian dream is getting further and further away for anyone to achieve. Prices are going through the roof with interest rates, construction, builders, everyone. It's really expensive to just get in the market. So, I mean, by taking advantage of that generational land and building on that land is something that's happening more and more, and we're seeing it all over Australia.
Oh, look, we really are. And the market we're living in at the moment is really difficult because the cost of living is just astronomical. It's not just the cost of living, it's the cost of construction, building, materials, prices, subcontractors, everything has gone through the roof. You know, before we could, build for 1,500 a square metre, now it's 4,500, 5,000 a square metre. So we're finding the only real way of getting into the market is producing something a bit more unique and a bit different. And in this case, it was an 80 square metre small little bar house, we call it. And this was for the family of the two parents and also their two teenage boys, where we had a wing for them as well. And, being that small design doesn't mean it has to be a tiny house to live in. We had the high rake ceilings, we had, big open spaces, we didn't have wasted hallways and corridors. So really an 80 square metre house feels like a traditional 150, 200 square metre Australian home.
Well, mate, this really is the perfect design and showing us how 80 square metres can feel a lot bigger.
Yeah, look, Jimmy, it's a fantastic example of the open space. You know, we've got the kitchen to our right here beside us, and the kitchen really flows up to the high rake ceilings. And having that high rake ceilings gives us airflow, gives us light, and it makes the place really open, and it feels a lot bigger than a traditional kind of house, 2.4 flat ceilings.
And I think when we talk about light, natural light, we try and achieve that so much these days because electricity is so expensive. We're trying not to have lights on all the time. So having those highlight windows up there really does bring that natural light straight into this space. It's beautiful.
Well, it really does, and here we're facing northeast, and we're getting that morning sun, but we're also getting the northeast summer breezes come through into the house here, so it really gets airflow. Aircon is really reduced, so we're saving power. It really enhances the living in here because it's comfortable, and it makes you really want to be living outside on the deck, which is behind us.
Having the old brick against the monument really brings out a nice contrast, and then the greenery. I mean, brick, black, green, it's a timeless colour palette.
Oh, look, it really is. And the old brick, we were lucky because it had different tones of texture in it, and the texture really had those dark elements. And introducing the dark colour here meant the two materials palette really tied together. But also, by having a darker house, it means the landscape and the plants and everything around it is really enhanced, and the trees and the nature and wildlife is part of the house. It just doesn't dominate, it really blends into the surroundings. So it was really important for us to not have a house that was just white and really going to pop, but something that was part of the landscape.
Now we can finally reveal the rest of Dave's own home in Black Rock, a Bayside suburb of Melbourne.
The first impressions walking in are just, where do you look? There are so many features in this property. I absolutely love it.
I've got to say, this is probably the hardest part about building the house because the toilet used to be right here, and that's the extension of the house here. So the hardest part was putting the steel beam through here. We tried to keep upstairs, and in the end, we had to pull the top roof off, put that in. But again, all the design here, I mean, let's hand it over to Jane, really. So
It's been nice to be able to work with a bigger room, because our room previously was quite small. But now it's actually all fitted nicely in together. I'm really actually happy with it. And I know there's a lot of stuff everywhere, but I like mess and stuff, and I'm not one of those people that like a house that's got nothing around.
No,
it's lived in.
This is your home. It's not a display home.
Yeah, no.
So this is your style. Your personality is here.
Yes.
Your kids are on the wall.
Yes, they are.
I love it. There's so much fun in
And
this
we've
home.
got the leather couch because the dogs are on the couch. It all just fits in really nicely.
Well,
the kids come over. I've got teenage children now. We all sit around the bench here. We have a few wines and a bit of a banter, and it's just lovely.
yeah, so it was a family home, and what we had here was pretty much like a rabbit warren, and during the build, yes, it did take me ages, Jesse, all right? But I'm blaming COVID for that. But to have like an open room here, and then we've got a movie room, and I think one of the biggest things that I love is obviously having a cellar here as well. So we try to fit in so much in this house, and yep, we'd like stuff, we didn't like it, then we'd rip it out and we'd redo it.
I actually think the outside looks amazing, and I have to say, give you a compliment, Dave. It really does suit this house, and it's great for the children. And even the dogs don't have real lawn. David gets up at 5:30 every morning and walks both the dogs, so at least they're getting a run.
I just want to go back there. There's a compliment to me. I just want that validated, okay? So there you go. Thank you very much, and I'll take this.
That's the only compliment you'll get, though. That's about it.
As you know, street appeal is so important in Melbourne, and the amount of layers and different details that you have at the front, with the balcony, with the arches, with the crazy pave, the landscaping, the palm, it really does tick all the boxes.
Yeah, look, and that was it. Again, as I keep saying, it was built and designed on the run, and yes, it did take a long time.
I wouldn't say he was running, though. It was on the run.
There it is. So I thought I was good at one stage, but just went straight back down the bottom. But,
you had one compliment.
One compliment, and then I started...
It's been 4 years, Jeff.
Don't get greedy.
That's right.
It's been 4 years.
The house just continues to surprise me. I wasn't expecting to see these vaulted ceilings.
I was going to say, well, this was one of the best things ever about our house. We had a beach house that did have this, but not 6 metre ceilings. Our last house, you used to be able to touch the roof like this, and obviously we had to pull the top roof off, to get the steel beaming downstairs. And then while we had thought that, we thought, well, you know what? Let's go as high as what we can.
Jane, you've done an unbelievable job with all the bathrooms.
Thank you.
The tiles are all different. I know it's got some wallpaper, some Venetian plaster, and you showed a bit of restraint. You didn't tile floor to ceiling, which I quite like. Otherwise, I think it would have been too much with the ceiling height.
And that's another argument too, Jess, because David wanted to tile from floor to ceiling with tiles, and I'm with you, Jess. It encloses the bathroom. The bathrooms aren't big, so I told him just at tap area, so they're all waterproofed, but it works in really well because I like to see the wall, the white wall. It's a nice contrast.
And a black bath, haven't seen one of those before.
I love my black baths.
So that was from Shots as well at the same time. They come on board and supplied all the cabinetry and the bath.
Dave, I knew you were good, but I think you've actually outdone yourself in this space, mate. It's unbelievable.
This is about friends, family and fun, and obviously having some mature trees and letting it grow. So very happy with it. Again, having teenage kids, and let's just say we have a lot of friends too. This gets used a lot.
Hand on heart, Dave and Jane, you should both be so proud of what you've accomplished here. There's so much love, personality, brave choices that you've both gone to here. I'm really blown away by it. Should be really happy.
Thank you so much, Jess. It has taken a lot of hard work, and I do congratulate my husband because he's done an amazing job outside. But we're very grateful and we're very happy with our outcome.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes. On this episode of Open Homes, modern and fresh in Coburg, we take a tour with Dave. Business at the front and party at the back. At the end of the show, a picture-perfect facade in Melbourne.
Well, it must be a dream, not just for you, but also for your clients that you work for. Probably the most picture-perfect facade I've seen of a home in a while.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, Beck is in Coburg, an inner north suburb of Melbourne.
So it's a beautiful sunny day today in Coburg. We're in one of the oldest suburbs in Victoria, where some of the houses date back 100 years. I'm here to meet Boyan, who's done an extremely modern architectural build. Let's see how that works in the streetscape. Boyan, we meet again, and this is one of your most recent builds, is that correct?
Yeah, this is the last one for the year.
So you took me through your beautiful build in Baldwin last time.
I did.
This is now a family project, is that correct?
Yes. My sister-in-law was seeing that one and she said, can I have something similar? But she loved this northern suburb, so she said, I want to settle in Coburg, I love the area, what can you do for me? We found this beautiful property and then we designed and built this beautiful home.
So what a nice feel when you walk into this house. It's so light and bright and airy. I love that the materials internally reflect what you've done outside, from the timber cabinetry to the flooring, even just the white walls. I know that some people find that typically quite simple, but I think sometimes simple is better. And the way you've got that gorgeous void area with the tree and the light pouring in, it reflects off those white walls really beautifully.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that was the main thing. We had sort of 3 colours to choose from: the timber look, the grey stone look, and the white. And that sort of, we followed that throughout the bathrooms, throughout the kitchen, throughout the void. The biggest inspiration actually for the void was the staircase. Now, they've got 2 young kids, and having the right height and depth for those stairs was really critical. The parents will feel really comfortable with kids running up and down the stairs. Now, that doesn't happen a lot in a lot of houses, but that was a crucial moment. And then the house on that side was facing north. So we said, take advantage of that light, yeah, and let it come down the stairwell, spread throughout downstairs. And that's the biggest thing that they sort of, when they first walked in, that was the impression that they got from the house.
Now, this house doesn't feel as big as the one that you did in Baldwin, but it definitely still feels quite airy and open. And you've really done a nice layout here with this open plan living that then goes out onto the backyard there. So,
it is a very similar layout, and that's what we learned from the previous one. And then just so that they've had a couple of parties here since the kids have had a couple of birthdays. And just the way everyone gathers around the island bench and sits in the dining area or goes out into the entertainment area outside and then uses the barbecue, and then the backyard is all there. And you can see the kids playing in the backyard from here, and that's a really critical thing, you know, from any part of the house.
The functionality of the layout is spot on. I noticed too, just even some small details like the high skirts, but the very modern profile, that shadow line detail in the staircase, all just very small things. Maybe not a lot of people would pick up those details, but my eye sort of went to them and went, oh, okay, you've really kind of thought about everything. Even the shadow line above the cabinetry, it's been done really beautifully.
Yeah, and then you can go all through. We could have done a shadow line on the skirts, but it's something like, again, it's a cost-effective way of doing it. And then the ratios sort of match up with a lot of other dimensions of the house. And that's something that someone with an eye for it does tend to pick up. But when you walk in, you don't see it all, but you sort of feel it all. It's all around. It's a general feel is what we're trying to aim for.
Well, this has got a nice feel out here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I try to make sure that the trees were kept from the previous house, and having fruit trees in the backyard. I mean, who doesn't want that?
I agree.
It's so good fun for the kids when it's flowering and it's growing, and you can pick off your own fruit from the back. So
I like too that they're mature, because you know a lot of these new builds, you have all of these really little plants, and it takes years for them to kind of grow into the build, but. This feels really nice, and it's shaded as well.
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean,
good.
it ties into the little alfresco here. I mean, the barbecue, I mean, what Aussie family doesn't want a barbecue out the backyard? And that sort of ties into the open space. You can open up these doors and really feel like indoor, outdoor. And when you have a party here, it really makes a big difference just to have, you can see the kids, and, you know, they enjoy this sort of little courtyard here. And that was one of the briefs that we wanted to try to make sure that was part of the design.
So again, pay attention to detail. I've noticed that beautiful cladding that you've got on the roof there, and it matches the facade cladding. So you've done a really good job at keeping it really cohesive and consistent.
Thank you. We really tried that. It's sort of as above, so below. You know, timber up, timber stone down, and then in the bathrooms as well. Like it's just such a nice warm palette, and trying to keep that natural, you know, earthy sort of feel throughout here. And that's something that sort of stands the test of time. So even in the future, when they plan to upgrade, of course, or move on, that theme will always be popular.
Well, again, amazing job. I think it's a beautiful build. It looks like a great family home in a great location. So on to the next one for you.
On to the next one, and we really hope that this one inspires other people to come towards us, and that we know what we're talking about.
Well, you definitely do. You've nailed it on every aspect. Good job.
Thank you.
Next, we head to Albert Park in Melbourne, where Jesse's checking out one of his favourite kinds of builds.
We're here today in the beautiful suburb of Albert Park, and we're about to have a look at the most gorgeous single front Victorian terrace. What I love about these homes is that from the street they all look so similar, but you have no idea what's waiting for you behind the front door. Matt, what an incredible design that you have done here. I absolutely love the single front Victorians, but obviously there's not a lot of land size to work with, but what you've done is truly incredible.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. Single front Victorians are some of my favourite as well. I just love working on them and have done for many years. This one's probably the narrowest I've ever worked on at 4.5 metres wide. So that obviously brought about its own challenges just with the space available, 185 square metre block, 4.5 metres wide. There's not a lot of land to work with. I think we did well to get what we did in the end.
Obviously a beautiful contemporary extension, but what did you retain from the original part of the home?
So we basically kept 2 bedrooms and a bathroom down the front of the house and then basically started the contemporary extension from the end of the hallway. So we've retained that period hallway, those bedrooms with the period Victorian features, and then had a clear distinction from that point on.
I'm blown away by having the entire top floor as the master suite and that walk-in robe. You just don't expect that from the street.
Yeah, it's a bit of luxury, I suppose, in Albert Park. It is uncommon to get that amount of space for a master suite on a first floor on a building like this, but yeah, it's come out really well.
And was there a lot of collaboration between you and the owner, not just on the architecture, but did you help with the interiors?
Yeah, all of it. So every project I do is different with that regard in terms of the level of collaboration there is. Sometimes people are happy to sort of let me do the works. In this case, it was really a case of working really closely with the owners to make sure we achieved some pretty clear ideas that they had from the outset.
Well, I think that shows because if you look at the details of the door jambs, the pocket doors, the tiling with the niches and the LED light, there is so much detail that's gone into it and it all works so well together.
It does, and that's a credit to the builder as well, being able to actually pull that off too.
And this space here, because you're only on a narrow block, it's 4.5 metres.
Yep.
So how were you able to achieve such a width internally as well?
So once upon a time, we were considering concrete walls. That was going to be a 150mm panel with an internal stud wall, and we were going to lose about 250mm on either side of the block. So all of a sudden you've got 4 metres internally. Yeah. It's not much. The builder actually came to the table and he'd had some experience with the bond or lux wall system, and he said, how about this? It's actually going to be easier and cheaper for me to install it. So Bondor was able to supply the panels with an etched finish, which we could then apply a special render to. We got a product that was able to be applied to look like a concrete wall anyway. We've got a very similar, if not identical, outcome to what we were looking at with the concrete walls. So we've gone from having about 4 metres internally to about 4.2 just by changing to that wall system. It still provides all the fire rating that we need to comply with the building regulations, better insulation values, actually. A really great outcome, really.
Standing outside, it's such a beautiful outdoor area, but those privacy screens are even more impressive from down here than in the master bedroom.
I like them even more after getting the phone calls from the builder telling me about how long it took him to cut each individual piece and slide them all in.
So you actually made those, like, yourselves?
Yeah, they were made up out of aluminium extrusions, and then the builder, Derek, he cut each piece of black butt into that size and cut little black butt spaces to space each batten apart. It took him a long time, and he certainly let us know about it.
I'm looking at them now trying to work out how many pieces there are. That's a lot of cuts.
Yeah, it took him a long time, but he's done an awesome job.
Well, Matt, it's a credit to you and the owners here, because what you've managed to fit on this such a small block in inner city Melbourne is nothing short of remarkable. I think it's beautiful the way the extension ties into the period part of the home. I love the cladding with that concrete render, looks great. The fins, the landscaping, all the joinery, everything you've done here, you can see you've put so much thought into it and you should be really proud of what you've done.
Oh, thanks, Jesse. It sounds a bit cliche, I suppose, but it really was a team effort. Like, the owners really wanted to be a part of it, and they were it wouldn't have come to this sort of result without their input. And I think everyone involved's done a great job and should be really proud of it.
Next up, this incredible landscape design.
We're here in Brighton to check out a classic Franklin design. Yes, it's a small backyard, but there's plenty of detail in this job. Let's go check it out. As you can see, this backyard is not that big. It's quite small, but we have managed to fit in the fireplace. We have got the spa. We have got a decent sized pool, and we have made the decking area into a paved area and done a new arbour, so we've managed to fit everything in this small backyard. The brief was to have a family backyard. We are right in the central part of Brighton here at the moment. Again, yes, it's small, but to fit in a pool, spa, obviously having pool equipment, and right behind you is the studio right there, plus having entertaining areas here. To fit all of this in was quite a hard design, and they're after a high level sort of finish on this, and that's what we've given them. We did have the original crepe myrtle here. We had the Manchurian pears. So what we have done, we've used Ligularia. I know it's hard to say, but I can say it now, which a lot of people often would say they call it the tractor seat plant, which is right to the right-hand side of me. We've used another tree that we call is living pergolas, okay? So these are grafted up to the top, and they'll actually grow like it's like you're almost in an Italian grotto drinking wine, okay? That's what we want here in Brighton. Along with, we've got star jasmine here, which is we call the Asiaticum, which is not the Trachyspurnum that grows upwards. We've got that. Good old Hedrahelix, which is ivy over there. And along with all the star jasmine, and we've got lamb's ears along there. You would say there's heaps of stuff, but we still have a little, we've got some features here and there, which we've got Buxus balls, which I like to call spheres. Put all that together in a backyard like this, you've got a perfect garden. The owners were definitely part of the design process on this job. They wanted a high-level finish. Again, it's not a huge backyard, so when you're only buying a certain amount of metres here, you can afford to spend a little bit more and get that luxe product. So instead of just having straight paving, we've used a herringbone here, and as you can see right behind me, we've got floating herringbone steps. Now, any tiler or landscaper out there, they'll be saying, I never want to do that. I'm going to tell them, never do it, because it takes ages to just do all those mitres there. But a job like this needs that detail, and right in the middle of Brighton, right here, it deserves it. This pool is roughly 8 by 3.5, which is your standard pool, okay? But it does have a 2-metre radius spa that's sitting in the top there. We do have a beach area. Again, for the small family, this is absolutely perfect. Even if you've got a big family, this is absolutely perfect. You don't need much bigger for this. If you want to do laps, get yourself a lap pool. But if you want something that sits perfectly in a backyard, this is your perfect size. About the spa here, this was a colour choice that it was with the clients, okay? If you have a look at that tile there in the sun there, we actually used to call that the Coca-Cola colour tile there, okay? But it is a black tile in the dark, but again, get that reflection off the sun there. You'll see that beamishing and the purling that's on the side there. It's different. It's what you need in this backyard. It's all about that glitz. When you've got all these undertones and these shadows and stuff like that, that's what you need. That's the bit of Hollywood. That's what I love about it. I'll be honest, I get asked this a lot once you actually see the job when they're finished. Would I change anything on this job at all? Absolutely not. I think this is definitely one of those ones that packs a punch. It's got everything that you want in a backyard. To fit it all in and to see this now, well, I'm pretty sure that the guys were actually mopping up the grounds before. So let's just say the pool's about 12 hours old. The garden's about 6 hours old, all right? So come back in 1 year's time to see the growth will be fantastic. So maybe this might be a revisit.
Next up, Jesse is in Malvern to take a tour of this striking Edwardian home. He's meeting with Nicole of Empire Interiors, interior designer and mastermind behind this special home.
Nicole, do you have the best job in the world? You get to work on beautiful properties like this every day.
I do. Welcome to Montrose, Jessie. This beautiful Edwardian home in the middle of gorgeous Malvern is sort of circa 1912, and how lucky to breathe new life into this gorgeous homestead.
Well, it must be a dream, not just for you, but also for your clients that you work for. Probably the most picture-perfect facade I've seen of a home in a while.
Yeah, so you're right, it's a picture book facade, and our clients really were inspired by a modern farmhouse, took the idea from the original Edwardian home, and we've carried that through with the interiors. As you'll see, it's a little bit different than what most people do, which is chop the back off one of these beautiful homes and build a big modern box. We've sort of done a neoclassical addition, which is carried through the kitchen and bathrooms. Come and have a look.
Let's go. Now I understand what you were talking about at the front when you said you didn't want to just add a box on the back. This extension feels like it's been here since when the house was built. It's incredible.
Yeah, thanks, Jessie. That's an amazing compliment. That was really the design intent from the beginning with the client. We really wanted to take inspiration from that classic Edwardian front and bring that through the interiors.
You've done such a good job blending the old with the new. It's difficult for me to tell where the old house actually stopped and where the extension has started.
Excellent, that was the plan. The idea was that you would walk from the start of the home, the original Edwardian home, down that hallway through all the bedrooms, which are original. They've got the ceiling roses and the cornicing and all of the stuff that was original to the home, which we sort of redid but kept to how it was. And then you walk through to the new section, which is this new kitchen, dining, living addition. And there's also a first floor addition, but there's no real direct space where you walk through and you say, this is the new bit, which is what we normally do. We normally deliberately do that. And that was something that we were thoughtful in achieving in this house. That was a little bit different.
Now, what orientation are we facing here, Nicole?
So the house faces north. So we've got south at the back, obviously, with these steel doors. So we really had to maximise light in this space by using some really smart light wells in the kitchen and behind us near the fireplace as well.
Well, they work so well because it doesn't feel dark in here at all. If anything, it's quite a nice little mood lighting rather than the entire place being lit.
Yeah, and that's the idea, that the whole house has these little design moments within them. So it's using neoclassic materials, and it's also using architectural elements like V-groove and glass as to bring the whole thing together.
And it's a beautiful sized family kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare to get a house like this in general, an Edwardian of this scale in the condition that it was in, with clients who are willing to put in the time and effort to really bring it back to life. So that in itself was such an honour. To then be able to do this modern addition, we wanted to make sure it had a kitchen that was suitable for a house of this scale. So it's a big house, it's a beautiful big kitchen.
Wow, Nicole, this home really is pretty as a picture, and I see what you mean about the horizontal and then the vertical lines there.
Yeah, this is sort of that transition space. This rear addition is on the outside, you can sort of see where it goes from old to new. The gorgeous vertical cladding and the steel windows and then that outdoor fireplace. What a combo. You just want to sit out here all day.
Did you choose the limestone first or the colour of the axon cladding because they match perfectly?
What a great question. Well, we were fixed in colour with the limestone. We could pick any colour for the axon cladding, so we could complement the limestone perfectly, which is what we've done.
Well, you've done an incredible job, Nicole, blending the old with the new. This could be one of the most beautiful looking homes I've ever seen through, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks, Jess, and thanks for coming by.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes. On this episode of Open Homes, Norm goes bushy beachy.
It is a bushy beachy kind of feel, my sort of feel that is.
This stylish family home. We tour another dream project with Dave. At the end of the show, a home taking full advantage of its environment. The feature that makes this kitchen transformation so impactful though is the inclusion of these skylights. Come with us as we step inside. First up, Norm joins us for a special tour of this house in Sydney's Northern Beaches.
When you think about the Northern Beaches, you think about the coast and surfing. But as I walk up to this property here, with the greenery and the facade, it's just got that bushy, beachy vibe. And I love it. How are you, Phil?
Yeah, good, Norm. How you doing?
Going well, mate. Nice to meet you.
And you?
Yeah. Now, first impressions of the house. I love this timber screening.
This black butt looks fantastic up against the sandstone. I just love it. It's a bushy, beachy kind of feel.
It is a bushy, beachy kind of feel. My sort of feel, that is. Phil, can you give us a bit of a brief and a bit of a story behind the family and the build of this house?
Yeah, well, it was quite a unique brief that we had for this, for the design. It's a bespoke design for John and Denka, the homeowners. John is in a wheelchair, and so we had to design something that worked for him, and that meant one single level all the way through. Traditionally, a deck is 25 or 30 mil below your standard floor level, so one level all the way through this house. Denka loves entertaining, and they've got a very wide circle of friends from their sailing days and their work environment. So, big deck areas. They wanted something that was easy to manage and where Denka could assist and care for John. So it's a unique setup with the bedrooms and with the bathroom, and the bathroom had to be wheelchair access in a small home, as you know.
Yeah.
That means wider doors and making sure you've got the room to manoeuvre. And we were able to fit that all in a 60 square metre granny flat.
So, Phil, I love the timber. Like, you got the timber deck, the timber flows through the house, and it also goes out into that deck out the back there.
Denka really loves Australian hardwoods, but she particularly likes greenery, and she likes how greenery sits up against the hardwood as well. So it was really important for Denka and for John to have a lot of light in the house, and to have that light with an aspect, a look out upon greenery.
All the glass in this joint is letting so much light in, it's unreal.
Wherever you sit in this room, we wanted to have light coming in, and we wanted to be looking out on greenery and feel like the outdoors was actually inside the house. So it was very important for Denka and for John to feel that when they sat in these two rooms, because this is where they were going to spend a lot of time in the house.
Yep.
And when we walk around and have a look at the kitchen and the design that we required in the kitchen, it had to work for wheelchairs.
Yep.
And so this bench here, which sits well up above the ground, couldn't have two pieces of timber holding it up. So this was actually framed and built at the very early stages of the building, where we had steel built that connects all the way down into the bearers underneath the house to support this beautiful piece of stone that comes across as a stone bench top and can be have a wheelchair sat under it so that they can eat from.
So one would say you built the house around the bench?
We did. We built a good part of this place, at the front part of the house, yes. Around.
Yeah. Is that beam structural or is that just cosmetics?
No, it's just cosmetics. It
Oh,
wasn't,
right.
wasn't required. As we talked about the panels, they have a very long span on these panels, so it wasn't required for structure, but it was required to show the timbers throughout the building.
Sort of blocks off the two areas, but without blocking it off, if you know what I mean. Like, you've got the living area here, you've got the kitchen there, so when you sort of look at the ceiling, it's got that beautiful timber, and it sort of separates the kitchen to a certain degree with still having that open plan living. And then also, we talk about the lighting and the windows in this part of the house, but it's also flowed right through to the whole house down there. There's plenty of light coming in through the glass up there.
Oh yes, we met the brief. We met the brief. So a nice light-filled room, but again, when we get into those rooms, you'll see that it's always got an outlook onto greenery, and that's again bringing the outside in. Very Northern Beaches sort of feel to it, but it was really important in the design of this property.
So, Phil, as I see it, it's been a great collaboration between architect, builder and client, and it's all just come together and it's a magnificent place.
Thank you. We're really happy with the outcome on this build.
Yeah.
Terrific job, and great clients to work with as well.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for having us, Phil, and we'll catch you on the next one.
We will indeed.
Next up, we're in the Bayside suburb of Sandringham.
We're here today in the beautiful beachside suburb of Sandringham, and we're about to check out a home that has blended Hampton style with the coastal together absolutely seamlessly. I can't wait to show you through this one. Let's take a look. Joe, beautiful home that you've built behind us here. I can sense obviously it's a Hampton style home, but it looks like it has a bit of a twist to it.
It does have a little bit of a twist. It's more of a coastal vibe. So you're going to see a little bit of blue, white, and some really open spaces. So I can't wait to show it to you.
Joe, I don't know if it's the oversized hallway or this massive vaulted ceiling, but this home is so impressive.
Yeah, it just keeps giving you something as you walk in through the front door. Obviously the oversized hall, you've got the wainscot panelling, and then as you work your way through the hall, you see the staircase come off to the right, which is matched to the same sort of styling and colours as the home. And then, yeah, when you come through this living area into this space, it's just, you know, like it's a gobsmack moment.
And I noticed there's a couple of feature round windows as well throughout the home.
Yeah, nice little piece there. When you're standing here, you can look up, and then from up there, you can look down and even see into the pool. So yeah, it's quite a quirky feature, which we had a lot of fun trying to fit.
Well, I'm really impressed with the floor plan upstairs, because the living room, or the retreat, I guess you'd call it, is massive compared to what I was thinking it was going to be. And then the way you've separated the master suite from the kids' quarters as well.
Yeah, so the house is zoned pretty much everywhere. So even upstairs, there's like a kids' wing. We've got the 2 bedrooms and their own bathroom. There is like a spare room up there, and then the master bedroom located at the front, away from the kids' zone, if you want to call it that. So you can get a bit of breakaway time from the kids.
You've fooled me, Joe, with the kitchen splashback, because I can't quite tell if it's pressed metal or if it's actually a tile.
It's actually a tile. It does look like pressed metal. It's a great feature. But yeah, you've got the cleanliness and the hard wearing properties of a tile.
And I like how you continued a lot of the details with the VJ panelling. I noticed that in the home office, seeing here in the living room, and also in the master ensuite.
Yes, yeah, we try to tie elements in, so when you walk through each of the rooms, it does feel like it's a cohesive design, like it's not changing too much, even though, you know, as you do go through the room, there are subtle changes. But yeah, trying to tie those elements in, yeah, it was a requirement from the customer and also something that we like to do as well.
We wanted a large, high-ceilinged living area out the back, some deep Hamptons touches as we were living in the US, and we really liked the warm chocolates of the Hamptons floors and the white cabinetry and the nice airy feeling you get when you walk in these style homes.
Living in the house has been fantastic. It's been, you know, we've lived through obviously over a year now. Everyone that walks in comments about, you know, how well it's been built, the quality of the workmanship, you know, the pitched roof, the porthole windows are hit. Our children have their friends over and, you know, look through the window and just everything. It's been really good. Great place to live and to have people over.
Joe, I love the way that the indoor just flows to that alfresco area, and now in this beautiful pool area. It's magical out here.
Yeah, it's one of my probably favourite parts of the house is, you know, how the outside ties to the inside. So yeah, just standing here, we've got the servery window there, so you can imagine, you know, food and drinks getting served, people just lounging around, swimming in the pool, sitting here. It's just a great space.
Next up, Dave is in Aberfeldy in northwest Melbourne to take you through this dream job.
Well, guys, this job was an absolute dream to work off. What was even better, the client was amazing. And you know what tops the two of those? The front and backyard. Let's go in and check it out. Danny came to us because of the block. He actually had a look at one of the jobs that we did for Sarah and George. It would have been 2 years ago, and loved the landscape that Dan and I designed there. And he had a quite modern home here, and it sort of suited the backyard a little bit than what we had at Sarah and George's. And here you go, he rang us up, and here we are today. Yeah, so the pool was already in. I'm trying to work out how to get a great landscape with a pool that size. I'll look at the size that we're in here. So you've got to sort of divide all the areas up. You know, like we've got the entertaining area here, and we've got a relaxation sort of part here, and then you've got the pool area, and then you've got the sideway, and then you've got the front yard. So there's a lot of different elements going on in the front and backyard. I'd have to say the front design, it takes a long time, especially if anyone who knows how to do in situ concrete. You can pretty much only do like 1 to 2 steps at a time. It's just because you need the other step to brace off and stuff like that. Plus it takes a long time to fix all this stuff here as well. So the biggest thing what we want to create is, because the house is quite tall at the top there, you've got a lot of staircases, and I always say that a bad design is that if you have a staircase to go up another staircase, it's just a real hard way of getting to the front door. So we had to split all that up. So we've got like a couple in situ steps, then a platform, a few more in situ steps, then a platform. It feels like a lot's going on, but there actually isn't. It's just obviously laid with a lot of trees, concrete and paving. It's quite a simple design, but it just shows you the growth of the plants, and it actually softens everything out there. In our design, you know, we have Dan who works for us, and also we have Murray, and you know, we call Murray our plant man as well, and there's a lot of layering going on. So you do have a lot of plants that you do see here, and one that we always says is like, you see this ligulera, which everyone calls the tractor seat plant as well. You've got a pin oak here, which is kind of iconic of Melbourne streets and stuff like that. And then you've got like your maple here, and that's sort of more your exotic sort of stuff that you have. All of that together, it's green upon green upon green, which creates a great garden. It gives you a real clean look when you've got sort of bright paving like this. Look, yes, we have got like a daybed arbor sitting over there, so we wanted something a little bit different than what we've been doing in the past. A lot of arbors that we have been doing have been just like a cantilever, a bit of steel, you know, grow the Boston ivy over it. Again, Dan went a little bit OCD on this one here, so he's basically done like a wooden slatted roof on the top that's cantilevered over the side of it, and then you've got a curve that's on the end of the pool there. Now, the pool isn't curved, but it actually hangs over as a cantilever. You know what? All of that, for looking at it right now, a lot of work went into it, and it looks quite small, to be honest. So, but maybe they can get some pillows on it, and it'll be absolutely amazing. So. So look, there is a lot of high-class finishes in this job, and one of them is this marble that we have here. Now, a lot of people know Carrera marble, but this is more your outdoor marble, OK? So this is more your, not as poor as what Carrera is, but again, this is that hard to bloody cut. I know that took twice as long to do the job. Anything that you're going to cut in a circle is going to be hard, OK? Because you've got 100 cuts going around it, and then when you've got marble like this, again, it's not the easiest to cut. One of the features we have got out the front is charred timber. I am a sucker for it. I absolutely love it. I think they call it shushabui, from what I understand. It's a Japanese form of burning the timber, but we've used that on the garage door. We brought that out to the letterbox. That's something that we haven't done before. Again, we have got like the posted rail around there as well, so that's our architectural bit too. But one of the other things I would say that's you've got to think of is that, one, we are in a flood zone. Two, you know, it's quite like a small sort of nature strip as well, so you get a lot of cars coming up and down here. So we opted to use the urban turf out there, and you know, as we said, it's been through a flood, it's been through earthquakes, it's been through everything, so it's probably the perfect fit to use on a nature strip. Again, you've got to look at a house like this as a hard one to design, and I always say this, you need to match the height of the house with some tall trees. And that's why we've cantilevered everything up, and in between the cantilevers, we've managed to fit in a lot of tall trees there as well. If it was all going to be small, all you're going to see is the house and just the cladding of the house. And you know, after a couple of years, it gets a little bit boring, to be honest. So we tried to get in a few seasonal trees, which are like, you know, maples as such. And then we've got a lot of evergreen stuff that's overlaid in there as well.
Next up, a home taking advantage of the Queensland sun. It was the land that drew these homeowners to this 22-acre property in Brisbane's far north. In their words, the house itself had very little appeal. Luckily, the facade only required a superficial makeover, with the homeowners opting to paint the render and the tiled roof to make it more in keeping with their desired aesthetic. Inside, they were quick to transform a dated and somewhat leery interior into something considerably more contemporary with a small dose of Hamptons. The brief was anything but brown and bomb-proof. Hey! In addition to the kitchen, dining, generous-sized lounge room and games room, this house has 4 bedrooms, all of which are en-suited, making this home a little bit ahead of its time. A new contemporary kitchen was installed with no fail hard finishes like engineered stone bench tops and timber grain laminate cabinetry. The owners also very wisely converted a home study located just off the kitchen into a butler's pantry. The feature that makes this kitchen transformation so impactful, though, is the inclusion of these skylights. It turned out to be a bigger engineering feat than these homeowners had anticipated, but you cannot place a value on the benefit of natural light. One of the draw cards of this property is undoubtedly the alfresco area. The homeowners were quick to resurface the pool to make it more in keeping with the interior. And key to the success of any outdoor Queensland space, plenty of shade. It's really the ultimate entertainment area, but also provides endless possibilities for the people who live here. Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes. On this episode of Open Homes, James hits the northern beaches. This future-proof home, Dave takes us through this incredible design, and to end the show, this absolute showstopper.
It's almost like coming with a great entree into main meal and then all of a sudden, dessert.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, James is in Curl on the northern beaches of Sydney.
So what do you do if you've got an amazing coastal location with views of the beach, but it's only 11 metres wide and it's north facing? You create a great mixture of finishes and fittings and great design. You are going to love this house. We've enjoyed showcasing projects from the boys at Bremo Homes for years on Open Homes Australia. And I've got to say, I was elated to come and see this home here in beautiful North Curl. Now, it's deceiving when I arrived because this block of land is only 11 metres wide, yet the house feels much wider. And that's been achieved by clever design. A great use of horizontal lines, which you can see on the garage door. And then they've replicated that fine little line in the garage door with a rendered detail as well. The great use of horizontal line makes it feel much wider, and the beautiful palette of charcoal and off-white tones and natural timber makes it fit so well in its coastal environment. It definitely looks great on the outside, but join me now as we take a walk through. Not only is this a narrow site, but it also slopes from the front to the rear. The way that the designers have dealt with this issue is to make the home 2-storey at the front and 3-storey at the rear, allowing these simple little split level steps in between. Now, because it's north facing, natural light is very important. This courtyard here allows all of that natural light from the east to flood on into the home. They've also included some clever design statements like this beautiful staircase. Not only does it look like a sculptural element in the middle of the home, but having open risers allows more of that natural light to flood on in, and it picks up all of the beautiful tones in the timber oak floors. This home is actually deceivingly large, with 4 great-sized bedrooms, 4 bathrooms and 4 separate living areas spread out over the split levels. What I really love though is the continuity as you walk from outside in. Outside the home, we've got that beautiful white with the charcoal elements adding that almost eyeliner detail and that natural timber door. And inside it's been repeated with the white walls, the crisp outline of the windows and little details like this handrail and the timber floors. And they've even added some beautiful detail in the bathrooms where the timber has been flipped and it's up on the ceiling. Behind me is a stunning in-ground pool, the perfect destination to draw everyone from the house to the backyard. And you can see that sloping structure at the back, which is designed to create a nice space for rest, but also capture all of that natural light. Landscaping is one of those final elements when you've completed your home, and here they have definitely put a lot of thought into it. We've got beautiful bamboo here that's acting as screening for privacy and a great mixture of plants and foliage which creates that architectural element. I definitely see that fusion between coastal and tropical vibe. It just makes the house fit so well into the site. When creating a monochromatic colour scheme, texture is an important element to add to create that visual interest. Throughout the wet areas in the home, the design team at Gramo have used a great mixture of shape with penny rounds and Kit Kat tiles. Behind me here in the kitchen is actually a pill-shaped tile. Now, the interesting thing here is that this tile was actually the jump-off point for the design team to create the whole look of the home. As you can see, it's actually a marble tile, so it's got that beautiful white base with a slight grey vein through. And you can see that that's been translated to white walls with grey windows, that beautiful rich charcoal. It's a great way to see how to create a whole colour scheme from something that's quite simple and small. Being a natural element, it's also given the jump-off point for the beautiful warmth in the home, which is the timber. So combining these has created a beautiful mixture of elements as you walk from one level to the next. As you can see from the top terrace, it is definitely an amazing location, and that view is to die for with Curl Curl and North Curl Curl just behind. You can see how good the waves are before you grab the board and head on down.
Next up, we're in Sydney.
We're here in the exclusive suburb of Dover Heights in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. It has a great mixture of modern architecture and some grand historic homes, all perched around the beautiful rolling hills here right by the sea. You might be able to just see a little glimpse of blue over the top of that very shallow butterfly roofline, alluding to just how close we are to the sea. It looks great on the outside, very minimalist architecture, but I know I'm going to be surprised when we get inside. Let's go have a look. It's great when you look at the architecture of a home from the outside. I sort of had an idea of what to expect with the high wall and that driveway that went down to the garage. You don't get much of an understanding of what the house looks like from outside, but boy, the minute you walk in that front door, you understand. This home enjoys the simplicity of a mid-century modern style of architecture. Really clean white walls, quite unadorned. There's not a lot of detail in the architrave and there's no cornice at all. But of course, it's all about that amazing view. The balcony stretches the full length of this floor, and why would you not just want to spend time out there when it looks like that? On this level, we've got a large open plan lounge and dining space, but this level is all about entertaining, time with your family and friends. It's open plan, but there's so much space. A huge open plan living area and this fantastic kitchen. It beautifully connects from the outside, that view, to the ocean, but also a nice inner courtyard, surprisingly where the pool is placed. Now, that's done because of the steep block we're on, and they've obviously tiered this 3-level home onto the side of that cliff. It makes sense to have the pool here. It's not a massive pool, but gee, it's well placed, and it's so functional for the family to enjoy, especially on a really hot Sydney day like today. Interesting for me to come in here is to see a separate dining room. Now, this is a high-end suburb and a high-end home. Of course, having dinner parties is a great way to connect with people and enjoy not just the view, but this beautiful home. It's a large dining table in there. You can easily have 12 people over for dinner, and a large set of cavity slider doors separate the space in case your kitchen's not clean once you've finished cooking up a storm. Contrasting those beautiful clean white walls is the warmth of timber. And timber flooring runs right throughout this floor and all the way down the stairs through each of the 3 levels. But as you can see, there's also a rustic addition here. The original owner and creator of the home loved using timber, and he actually created this wall himself using reclaimed timber. It adds that nice textural difference between the rustic nature of that V-groove panelling that he's added against all of the other clean and crisp finishes. Now, I know that most of you are not actually looking at me. You're enjoying that amazing view of Bondi Beach behind me, and I can't blame you, because that's obviously a major reason why the homeowners bought this house. That bit of blue and those beautiful coastal breezes that are just washing up now is a major draw card of this location. But what I also love about here is that you can just see how green Sydney is as well. This is a large 4-bedroom or almost 6-bedroom family home. It's so well connected with that amazing view, but it's also really well positioned into its site. I think it's an amazing space to live, and I have utterly enjoyed being here. I feel like I've had a little mini vacation right in the heart of my own city.
Up next, we take a tour with Dave. And later...
It's almost like coming in with a great entree into main meal and then all of a sudden dessert.
Next up, Dave takes us through this amazing landscape project in Brighton, one of Melbourne's most exclusive suburbs.
Hey guys, we're here in Brighton, one of my favourite suburbs. We're here to check out a job that we have virtually just finished. Yes, it is a little bit small, but I've got to say it is probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever done. Let's go check it out. What we've got in this amazing backyard is actually a new landscape. I know it looks like it's been here for a while, but it's actually just been finished, well, pretty much, I reckon 2 hours ago. What was here before was we did have an original pool. That was a pool and a spa here. We did have a cabana at the back there, but it wasn't working in the same way. The pool wasn't big enough, old technology and that. So you know what we had to do? We had to redesign this backyard, pull the old pool out, put the new one in, and I've got to say this one, that was not easy. Probably one of the hardest things in our company we've ever had to do. We had to go through basically through the laundry here. We could only use a small machine. My advice is when you're pulling out an old pool, it's either going to be really, really thin so you can pull it out very quick, or they've over-engineered this and it's quite thick. We got the thick one here. Let's just say 4 or 5 weeks later, we're still cutting this pool out. So, you know what? It was probably the worst one I've come across in 35 years of landscaping. The design brief was, obviously, they've got a young family and they've got a dog Bounty, which you will see running around here. Look, we're in Brighton, we're right next to the beach here. It's a very period-style garden here, but we try to give a bit of modernism to it as well with different bits of the paving. And we just want to open it up and make it family-friendly. You don't want to say the word Hamptons in Brighton because everyone's going to chase me out of town, okay? But pretty much Brighton is a lot of Hamptons, okay? So Hamptons with a coastal twist, that's what we would say. Look, the planting is that sort of classic style as well. A little bit of coastal planting that goes on there, but we've gone with water hausia trees that we have here. We've got the Peary's Temple bells, and then we've got one that we really love, and you guys probably think it's dead at the moment, just because it has no leaves. This is what we call living pergolas. So we've got these here, and what's going to happen with these, that's going to grow across the pergola there. You might as well feel like you're in, well, Lake Como in Italy, or you can be right here in Brighton. Again, with an olive tree, right? Everyone blames me because I love olives. They're easy to grow as well, so you've got a lot of different salts and stuff like that from the pool here. Kids are going to run into it. You know what? We were thinking whether we did like a cloud tree or something like that. I said, let's go for something tough. Talking about the pool, okay? So this thing has everything on it. It's automated. It has got a bigger spa. It's got a nicer tile on this, so instead of having like the big ceramic tiles there, we've gone to a 25 by 25 tile on this one. So this one here, it is a ceramic tile as well, but it gives you like that real exotic feel or luxurious feel, like it's a glass tile. But for this one here, it's a soothing sort of tone with what we've got, and it matches the pavers. Never, ever will I take out a pool through a laundry again as long as I'm alive. That's a guarantee. The clients, they've been fantastic with us as well. The neighbours have been fantastic with us, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Up next, we can finally reveal this absolute showstopper. Now we can finally reveal this amazing home.
So we're here in South Strathfield. It's an obvious suburb where you can see that transition from older established homes, lots of Californian bungalows, into something like you've created here. It's a pretty damn good looking facade, mate.
So we've got the Hardy Brush concrete, which is actually the first house in the country to have that. So we're pretty excited to get that on there. And we've paired it with the Axon. So that's our cliche. We do that on every job and it pairs with everything pretty much. So we've done that in a dark colour because we wanted a really minimalist kind of monochrome look. So we've got the black, the white together, and you can see that carried throughout the house. So yeah, it's come up really good.
It's that contrast that works so well. It's a nice white that you've chosen and the dark element, but you've also added a bit of warmth there with some nice timber tones in the landing and the front door.
Yeah, so on the deck, front door and the stairs, we've chosen to use the black butt, which has got a lot of texture and warmth. So it's really warmed up the house.
You've got polished concrete floors throughout as well. So you've added some really nice visual elements and texture to the ground as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a practical home for a family. You can wash this house down really easy.
Good party house.
Yeah.
Upstairs, mate, how many bedrooms we've got?
So we've got 3 upstairs, but they are incredibly oversized. All the windows floor to ceiling. We've got tons of light coming in. And then, yeah, we've got the guests downstairs.
The rooms are a great size, but walking down that long hallway upstairs into the master suite, that could almost be split into 2 good-sized children's rooms. Like, it's a big room.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We had a big block of land and we had so much space to play with, and the clients really wanted a retreat. They wanted a room that they could sit in, watch TV, have a cup of tea. They wanted a space to get away. So it also acts as a second living.
It sits well in the streetscape, which is really changing, but there's also lots of established trees. As I came in through the house, you can see that this is a sloping block to the rear, so it creates quite an interesting space as you come in and go down a set of stairs, and now we're in this middle level and then down again. It opens up so much opportunity for opening up to natural light and lots of volume within the home.
For a luxury home, it's perfect because you get the entry and then you come down into the living space and you can amplify the height. So you can have massive high ceilings, but keep that top level on one level. So you're not having multiple steps through the house. So it works really well because the front entry, garage, you know, study or mud rooms and things like that, you don't need high ceilings. But as you come into a living space kitchen, you really need the high ceilings, and you can see in this house, it's definitely got that.
Well, before we come down to this area here, it's almost like coming in with a great entree into main meal and then all of a sudden dessert. As we look down here, mate, I just want to walk down and have a look at this because this is a really nice space, and then you can see it tears down again to not a bad sized backyard and that swimming pool. It looks like a really nice family home, but it's definitely got that sort of high-end resort feel as well. Let's go check it out.
Let's have a look.
We're down here now in the heart of the home. We've got that beautiful kitchen, dining and lounge. Like, the volume of space here, it just must be a fantastic space for the family to spend time in.
Yeah, I was so happy with this room. Obviously the cost of doing a ceiling in a space like this is an expense, but I think it was the best decision we made to just spend it on this room because the feeling you have in here, you just feel so open.
Well, it's sometimes that conversation you'd have with your clients, I have with my clients about cost versus value. Of course, any building materials, adding something is an expensive process, but the benefits of this, like, it transforms something sort of that could be almost quite ordinary into a really amazing experience. Your head looks straight up the minute you walk down.
One thing that they really wanted was natural light, and by using all this white James Hardie cladding, we've been able to bounce the light into the house, bounce it off the walls. Even our louvers outside are white, so we can kind of use them as light deflectors, and we can send light through every room. So yeah, it's a good result.
How do you sort of prepare your clients when you meet them of what they're going to be in for, and making sure that they're prepared when they come to see you so you can understand what they're after to achieve their goals?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, to be honest, no one could have prepared any client for what we faced this past year with the rain. Like, we had COVID moving into just non-stop rain, and to build a house in 9 months, and to be honest, 6 months of that was rain. It was a tricky process, and we were so lucky to have really understanding clients that got it.
The only problem is it looks so good, then they think, gosh, we like that process so much, let's sell it and do it all over again.
Yeah. You get a bit addicted to it, to be honest. Like, I've had so many clients that say that. They're like, we love it, but we want to do it again. So let's go again.
Mate, it's outstanding to catch up with you again, to have a look at another home. This is definitely a high-end home, but it feels warm and welcoming and really like a true family home. It feels nice to be in, and that's the reality. You're building homes for your clients. So thanks so much for having us here today to have a look around. Can't wait to see you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks again, James.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes. On this episode of Open Homes, a home packed full of features, on-point interiors in Melbourne, this future-proof home, and to end the show, this absolute showstopper.
I wanted this to look as good in 100 years' time as it does right now.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, I'm in Jindalee, a southwest suburb of Brisbane. I'm in Jindalee today, southwest of the Brisbane CBD, and I'm going to show you through an architecturally designed home where the success is in its subtlety. I love a discreet facade. You almost would not know this house is here.
It's so good, isn't it? And these original features of the home, Carleen, you know, the driveway, the beautiful light, they've all been crafted over time with love by people who've owned this house in the past. So for us, it was really important to keep that language and not muck about too much with what we've done at the front here.
So I take it this is a renovation?
It is a renovation, yes.
What was here and what did you do?
We've dressed up the front a little bit with some subtlety in terms of the gutter line that we've done there and new roofing which has been put on. We've redone this front element there in a black to just pick it out and lifted it forward. You know, there's subtle changes but nothing really over the top. The front door was the front door.
It looks very on brand with what you do best. So it's, you know, it's subtle but it's sleek, it's modern. What's your favourite part?
I think my favourite part is that the clients are happy, right? The owners that are loving living in this home.
That's a good answer.
I think we've done some subtle things here which have made a massive difference to the way they live. I'm really looking forward to showing them to you.
I'm very excited to see it. Should we take a look inside?
Let's do it.
Okay. I can't put my finger on it, but you can always tell when a space has been done by an architect. It's probably just, you know, simple finishes, done well, but always a killer floor plan.
Well, thanks, Carleen. I mean, I really love working with the notion of a floor plan, and that's how we always start our design strategy, always from floor plan. And for me, it's got to make sense. The spaces have got to align. You jumble it around a little bit. It's a bit like playing Tetris. You talk to your client, you ask them what they're trying to do with the relationship between how they live, and we always end up with what I think is the right floor plan.
Yeah.
And then from there you can start introducing those other ideas which we're all fundamentally thinking about already, which is the three-dimensional space, the light quality, the ventilation.
So talk me through what was here and what you've done.
So this house was a very, very, very standard rectilinear mid-century modern home. We were lucky to have the original floor plans which were given to the client by the other owner when they purchased the home. So that enabled us to really get an understanding of what was going on and how it was built. When we came in here, we found there were all these dummy rafters that had been thrown across the space that were doing nothing, and it was really hunkering down the space. It's quite dark in here. You know, the typical gable roof sloping down towards the north, so there was not a lot of light and it felt cramped. So our strategy then, once we got the floor plan aligned, is to maybe brighten the space up. So we did that through using three-dimensional space and height and volume in the roof plan to create a sense of space, even though we only extended the floor plan by 1.5 metres in one direction.
It's actually really peaceful out here.
Yeah, pretty unusual for a suburb like this.
Yeah.
Beautiful part about this site is that the river's just down there. Not
You'd
that
never
you
know
can
it.
see it, but so there's no neighbours in front of you really.
Yeah.
And also because we're hunkered down in the hill, I think we get a little bit of sound protection from what's going on in the street.
And I like that you've kept the facade and the details simple accordingly. Like it feels like out here nothing's pulling focus. It feels like the greenery is doing its job of being the hero, and I think that's really important in a facade.
Yeah, well, there's the good old less is more kind of approach, which everyone who loves Mies van der Rohe takes, but it's actually really hard to do well.
Next up, Beck is in Reservoir, a northern suburb of Melbourne.
So today we are in Reservoir, an older suburb in Melbourne, which has become quite sought after, being only 11 kilometres from the city. We're here to see Adrian from APA Build to see a development that he completed earlier this year. This one's a little bit special to me because I did all the interior design. Let's go check it out. So Age, here we are, finally in your completed house.
Yeah.
You know, we worked on this together and it felt like at the time it was never ending and stressful, but now you're here and you're living in it and you're loving it.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Yeah, we're loving it.
And you had a lot of people question you on this brick choice, but I remember when you showed me, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I loved it off the get-go. And to be honest, that was probably a little bit of inspiration of what I did in the interiors because I took that warmth and that light colour and carried it through some of the joinery choices.
Exactly. A lot of people doubted the brick choice, but I just sort of stuck to my guns, ran with it, and yeah, I think we pulled it off in the end. So I think it came up really nice. So no, we're wrapped. We're wrapped. We're in here now, settled in. Yeah, really nice.
So obviously, Adrian, you got me in to help with the interiors, and you were the dream client because you basically said, do what you want.
Correct.
Your only request was that we kept it light and warm, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was the brief, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the brief. I just said, you know, show me what you guys can basically do, and or you guys come up with this, you know, and we sort of built it alongside with the joiners. I think we achieved what we were set out to do.
It's not a big space, but we've managed to fit everything in and
definitely.
then kind of make a little bit of a feature out of some of the architecturals, like the curves, you know. So we brought that into the joinery, which the team at Craftscale probably didn't love us for.
No, I don't think
it's harder for them, but the workmanship's amazing and they achieved it.
Oh, definitely.
But we then carried a lot of those curves through, you know, which kind of gives it that high-end feel. So we have it in the stone here. And then in this curved wall, which then became a feature in that powder room.
Correct.
You know, so then it all started to sort of, you know, tell a story, which I think elevated the design in a sense.
Yep. Yeah, so obviously at frame stage, we did these two curves that we've one downstairs where the powder room, where this wall is just here, and another one upstairs in the master bedroom. And then Beck come along and she saw a couple of them and she decided to make it more like 20 or 30 curves going. So yeah, we love it. But how did you, I mean, obviously the curves sort of, you knew what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think I already saw the existing curves in the wall, and then our process is obviously to do a bit of, you know, research and whatever, and curves are very in right now. It's a beautiful way to kind of elevate interior architecture. But I remember looking at the joinery drawings and just thinking, that cabinet, we were trying to hide the fridge. And I thought, how can we make this a feature without making it look like it's something that's just sort of stuck like there, you know, intentionally. And that's when we came up with the idea of curving it and then making it a bar on the other side. And then I just got a bit happy and just started to curve everything. Let's curve this, let's curve that. And it just, I don't know, but it all kind of came together.
It did.
As I was drawing it, I think there was just something really beautiful about that symmetry in those curves. And I guess when you walk into the property, that's the first thing you see. And then that's when we started to look at materials, and you had that 3 material rule for the outside. And I thought, well, let's apply that internally as well. So we had this beautiful veneer finish, and then we had the stone, and then I really kind of wanted to play on those linear lines, and we got those 5 fingers from Beaumont tiles, and we've actually used those throughout the house in different colours.
Well, actually throughout the development, we sort of kept the theme going.
So this was one of my favourite projects to work on. I think
Course it
because
was.
you gave me free rein, but I thought it was a great team and we were
Yeah.
all sort of creatively on the same level.
Yeah.
And I think that the results speak for itself. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's an amazing project and thanks for having me involved in it.
Look, you know, obviously we work together, you know, quite a bit. You know, having you do my own personal house, yeah, it's been great. So, good experience.
On to the next one.
On to the next. Not as many curves.
Up next, we get a special tour through this home. And later, you won't want to miss this reveal.
This is basically a full concrete house built half under the ground on the ocean front here at Wary Beach.
Next up, this home in Victoria uses the natural environment to its advantage.
Jess, Val, this is something different because normally you're hosting Australia's Best Pools with me, but today we're having a look at your house and I've got to say, this is magnificent. Tell us a bit about the project.
Well, it's a big renovation. It took about 12 months, do you think? Around
Just
about
under.
12, yeah, just under 12 months to come up with this result. There was an old section of the house, very 80s, 90s, very dated yellow walls. We've kind of refreshed the old part and then we've extended out and obviously put a tennis court and a pool in. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to Val here. How much did you have to do with this whole design here?
I'd love to take some credit, but it was all Jess, every inch.
Well, good answer,
Yeah.
because I was going to say, I've heard it from Jess, and obviously we're talking about Miss Interior right
Yeah.
here, so you didn't have a chance in there doing
Not
any
a
of
chance.
this at all.
No, actually he requested one thing, the spa to be round so you can do whirlpools.
Yep.
That was his only request. It's called Lord White and we've
Yep.
got it featured throughout the home. So we've got it in the bathrooms, the kitchens, and you'll just see little features here.
Yep.
I love that it's got like a pink through it, very girly, as I've got two girls. And I love like little accents of pink. So I really wanted a stone that had like
Yep.
a pink feature through it, but also not too busy. So a lot of the interior styling in terms of like the flooring and all the stone choices and stuff
Yep.
were mine. But we had, so the Melbourne builder has the Melbourne designer, Nauru, and he did a lot of like the architectural things, a lot of the curves and kind of put my ideas
Yep.
into life.
He even put the round spa into the curves outside.
Yeah. So he kind of tied it all in really nicely. And obviously we had a feature of a pole that we could not get rid of. It was
Yep.
going to cost, I think, $90,000. Because that was a curve, he wanted to kind of tie it all in by putting curves in other areas.
Three kids here. How many
Yep.
bedrooms do you have?
We've got 5 rooms.
5 rooms. Now, you
Yep.
were saying about some stuff that you wanted to do, weren't allowed to
No,
do.
I was shut down. I wanted to have, up there we used to be a little balcony, so I wanted to have a little abseiling
Yeah.
set up there. And the curved wall on the other side, I wanted to have a rock climbing wall.
Yep.
But shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
Taking all this fun away, Jess.
Well, yeah, it's called Happy Wife, Happy Life.
Well, I know that one's for sure. Let's have a look at the rest of the house here because what I'm seeing at the moment is amazing, but I have not seen upstairs.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
I'll show you
Let's
upstairs.
go and have a look.
Let's go.
Tell us about this backyard.
Yeah, this is my happy zone. I mean, obviously the tennis court's brilliant. It's we got to squeeze in just the right dimensions for a home tennis court, which is great. Pool, like we love, we use it all the time.
Yep.
But we found from our previous homes that the spa is where we spend most of our times. You know, you can use it all year round. It opens up beautifully onto the alfresco area. So for entertaining and for parties, I mean, you can have tennis parties, birthdays, whatever. It's so good to open everything up.
Well, guys, I've got to say, mate, thanks for having me here today. Your house is absolutely beautiful. You just need a front yard now.
Yeah, we're so excited for you
Out
to
of
do the
here.
design.
Now.
Up next, we can finally reveal this incredible home. Now we can finally reveal this house in New South Wales.
I've got to say, Neil, I was excited about today. I get to drive down the south coast and catch up with a mate and see your work. I've been following the journey of the bunker house for some time now. Tell us about what you created here.
Well, thanks, mate. Thanks for coming down. This is Bunker House. So this is basically a full concrete house built half under the ground on the ocean front here at Wary Beach. This facade is all raw materials. For me as a builder, I want to expose all of our hard work and not cover it up. So basically off-form concrete, stone, timber, all my favourite things as a chippy and a builder. You'll see throughout the whole house that everything's exposed. There's no cover-ups. That was the main goal with this house, that we wanted something that could handle the elements, because we're here on the ocean front, got lots of salt smashing the house. So I wanted this to look as good in 100 years' time as it does right now.
The concrete, there is a lot of it and it's very impressive. Concrete can be really brutalist, that brutalist architecture, and yet it feels comfortable in its site. I think it's got a lot to do with how you've ended up taping the edges of each layer. Like, it's becoming more like a sculptural piece, like origami.
Yeah, so during the design phase, we actually did have it all designed as a box modern facade without displays. And it was very heavy on the eye. It was very big and bulky and unit block-like. As soon as we slimmed everything out and tapered all of those facade beams, it looked incredible.
Well, I love the combination of finishes on the outside. I can't wait to get inside, mate. Let's go have a look.
Let's have a little look.
So we're here on lower ground level. I've got to say, it feels large and bright, even though the only windows are there, but I can see some skylights. How's that all working?
So we're actually well underground here. We're about 9 metres underground at the rear. And these skylights that you see actually play a big part in the name Bunker House.
Okay.
There is a lot of wartime bunkers across these coastlines. When we were designing it, I thought that'd be really cool. Cool way to get light down into here. Airflow, because they open up as well to let this level breathe. But yeah, they send light down here. And this zone has sort of become the kids zone, where the kids, you kind of send them all downstairs and they all hang out down here. It works really well.
It is a massive house and you've got all of this concrete, the stone. I've got to say, did that make it a quicker build or a slower build to construct? How long did it all take?
Look, to be honest, it normally makes it a slower build, but in this case, my budget had a limit, so I didn't have the option to stuff around with getting the concrete to an extremely high level, and we had to reuse all the formwork and things like that for budget reasons. So it actually made it quicker, because once you strip that formwork, the walls are done. There's no paint, there's no plaster, there's no tiling. The job's done. So it actually, sped things up and it ended up with a 9-month build time.
That's amazing. All of that texture and the detail of seeing the formwork and the little bits of timber framing and the little pins of holding the frame together, that actually adds a whole nother visual level and a whole nother lot of texture to the house. It makes it exciting.
Yeah, look, for me, I know like what, a class 3 perfect job is, and I know what a reused, recycled job looks like. And I actually, am the same as you, I like the textures. I like to see all the imperfections.
And Neil, here we are on the middle level. You can already see just that little bit higher how amazing those views are behind me. I'm guessing this is the master suite. I don't know if I've just walked into the set of the next James Bond movie. Like, this is an outstanding room.
Yeah, this has to be one of my favourites. So it's a transformer room as well. So you've got the big master bed. The cinema pops out. So you've got cinema screen here, pops out of the roof. And we've got the surround sound. The sound in here is epic. And then the bath, so you can sit there, watch the sunset in the bath or sunrise, whatever you're into.
Your forever house. Do you think there is ever such a thing? You've created this place.
As a designer and builder, I love creating the product more than actually living in the product. So I keep saying, this will be the forever house, this will be the forever house. But to be honest, I just love creating things. So I'm happy to, you know, we're about to build another bunkhouse in Byron Bay.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure that's going to become a holiday escape for other people to use in the end as well. So we're forever sort of creating things and doing things. But the journey with the family kind of being a part of the design, it actually makes it so much more fun and so much more enjoyable, and you get a lot of functionality out of everybody's input.
Yep.
I mean, even the kids had input in this design, so yeah, it was good.
Your company name is Future Flip, so we can't wait to see what you do in the future. I can see that we're going to come up to Byron and maybe see stage 2 of the bunker house, mate. It's been outstanding.
Thanks so much for coming, James. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes.